Hi, guys. Okay, so I just got through talking about depression, and I wanted to make a new video because a lot of times I know that it can run together, but I want it to be very simple and to the task or to the point, so to speak. So I just kind of want to go over. I talked about depression, and it was a good conversation about what depression is, how it presents, what you can do. But let's talk about what you can do for yourself. Like how do you handle the depression? What do you do for crying and for being sad? And how do you cope with that feeling of being irritable or the thought processes, whatever? How do you cope with those feelings? How do you cope with that thought process? How do you cope with all of it? So I thought what I would do is, just kind of go over some coping skills that help with depression. Like, coping skills are amazing. And they can be used at all times. Make a list of them. Do whatever you need to do. So that's what I thought I would have you do. Just go over right now and just kind of back it up to the depression and talking about it. I think that like I said last time or last video, people don't want to have a diagnosis. They don't. They don't want to know or be told that they have depression. They already feel that, but they don't want to be told that. Okay? But what do we do when we are working through a moment of anxiety? Or what do we do when we're having sadness? Or what do we do when we're just stuck in a rut and don't want to get out of bed? What do we do? We have to find ways to push through, to deal with it, to cope, to work on making it better, working through the moment. So depression saps a person's energy to about nothing at all. Like, if you've ever experienced depression, if you don't want to do anything. Like, you don't want to think, you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to eat, you just don't want to. It's just nothing. You don't want to go to your favorite sports bar with your friends. You don't want to go out to watch the fireworks. You're just generally, it zaps everything out of you. Depression is like, wow. I said before, it's like a silent killer, like it truly drains you for all that you are. And people with depression become, less active. They don't want to do anything. They want to shut down. They want to close up. That's the whole thing with it, And the problem with that is that only attempts to make it worse, So the first thing that a depressive person wants to do is to do everything that they don't want to do. Okay? And as crazy as that sounds, if you don't want to get out of bed and go out to eat with your friends, at least get out of bed and make your own self some food. Do a little bit of activity, because any kind of activity is really a good way to help you. So a coping skills for depression, exercise, socialize, write down your responsibilities, write down what you need to be doing, do a hobby, find something that you like doing, take care of yourself, personal care. Like, that's huge, okay? Those right there, those coping skills are huge. Now, you don't have to do it all big. Don't do the go big or go home. Start small, let's say you're having a bad day and you really just want to go home and lay on the couch and eat bonbons and do nothing. Okay? Instead of just running to that as what we do, make yourself go to the grocery store. Make yourself go home and take a bath instead and just soak and relax. Make yourself go to the gym. Call a friend. Spend 5 minutes on the phone with a friend. Even 5 minutes. Do something different than what you're wanting to do. Because what it does is, even in small increments, it breaks that cycle. it breaks that pattern. It breaks that desire to only do what you want to do, you know? So for example, when I was at my worst with depression a year ago, okay, we'll say a year ago, I wanted to do nothing. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to do shit. Okay. It was so hard for me to even think about doing anything. I literally sat on the couch, drank soda, and that was probably it. Oh, and DoorDash. I DoorDashed everything because DoorDash is so dang easy. And every time you DoorDash, you got to have a dessert, right? Yeah, you do. So what I had to start doing is I had to, first thing is first with me, I guess, because I am a therapist. I know a little bit. So I kind of talked to myself about it. And then I talked to my mom about it. And then I talked to William about it. And the talk process, like, I think I'm depressed. And then it was, and to be honest, guys, I didn't even do that until after I talked to my doctor about it. So, after I verbally said the words, I think I'm depressed, it motivated me to evaluate my situation, right? Like, what do I really want? And then it made me think about what I needed to change. Like, what was I doing because I was depressed? Besides sleeping all the time. I mean, I could sleep for 14 hours. Now, I can still sleep 14 hours, but I'm not depressed today. I'm just tired because I work too much. But I started, I went through a phase where I noticed my weight gain, so I started, getting really depressed about that. So I made myself get up and I made myself work out, and I made myself take care of me. If I wanted to go get my nails done or get my hair done or, buy new lipstick or whatever, go soak in the bathtub. I started, really making myself a priority. And I started listening to myself, like, what do I need? So I didn't just dive in one day and start exercising, right? I didn't do it for 30 minutes and like, woohoo, depression's gone. No. The first thing I did was I watched a video on YouTube about it. I watched a YouTube video about, at-home workouts. So that was a small step, but at least I was not sleeping, and at least I was looking at what I was going to do to make a change, right? And then, after I seen what I wanted to do, it took me days just doing a few minutes here, a few minutes here, a few minutes here, until I actually was able to build up time to say I actually exercised. Also, I had to keep myself responsible. You know what I mean? Like, I needed to clean the house even though William wasn't here, or I wasn't, I still needed to get up and sweep the floor because that made me feel like I was doing something. Or wash the cabinet even though there had been nothing on the cabinet. Like, I was holding myself responsible for activity. I, started very, very small. And that's how I suggest people doing it. And then I was able to advance with time. And then, at one point I even recorded myself exercising, for example, and that was huge. Nobody's ever seen it, but I did record it, because I had to hold myself accountable. I had to find it in myself. Also, if you're struggling with the social aspect, like just shutting down or withdrawing, find a way to, like I said, make a 5-minute phone call to a friend. If you don't have a friend that you want to call, take 5 minutes to find a support group online. There's support groups online now all over, all the time. Some of them are closed groups, meaning that you have to request to join, but that request to join is very beneficial and will help you in the long run. Generally, you're not going to be told no unless there's a reason, such as there's only there's not enough, maybe there's too many people, or whatever it may be. But generally, you're not going to get told no. They just want to make sure that who's coming into the group is, very receptive and wants to make a change and not there just to create drama, because that can happen too. So, socialize your feelings. Like I said, if you get into a group and you don't want to talk immediately, okay. But at least you're there and you're hearing people and you're listening and you're engaging. So that's good. I think that being mindful, just work on your mindfulness, work on your concentration, work on your posture, work on, your breathing, work on being just very aware and in tune with how you're feeling, and that itself is a coping skill. Okay. Breathing exercises are a great way to kind of pull yourself out of a deep depression at times. Because if you are one that struggles with anxiety, so example, I'm depressed because I can't pay my bills, and then you just hone in and have high anxiety with it. Sometimes just taking some breaths will help. But I think one thing that I could suggest, and then I do this a lot, I do suggest it a lot, is the three good things. And what I do with that is based on, or depending on whoever I'm talking to, my thing with that is to pull out positivity, okay? And the reason for that is because when you're depressed, you're normally down and don't see much positive, right? But if you stop yourself and you make yourself think about it and you write it down is key, because if you just think about it, it generally isn't something that you can see and then, react to daily, okay? But write down 3 positive experiences from your day, okay? And these experiences can be small, minute, such as the sun was up, okay? Or I got out of bed, or I, had a good day at work. Or it can be big. I got a promotion. I got engaged. I got to talk to my best friend wherever, like whatever. It can be anything small to anything big, right? Now, with each experience, because you're going to have 3, right? What you're going to do with that is you're going to choose a question about that. Like, why did it happen? Was it a good thing and meaningful to me? And how can I experience more of this? Okay. So let's say you said a good thing was, we'll start small. Okay. I got out of bed today. Okay. And you might put that as your actual experience of the day. And then the next thing would be either, why did this happen? Why was it meaningful? Like, what made you say that was a good experience? And then, how can I do this again? Like, one of those 3 questions you're going to ask, okay? And with that, you do that exercise, and you do it consistently every day for 7 days. And the process and the reasoning behind that is for you to start drawing out every day something that was good, a positive experience daily. Okay? And the reason you write it down is because at the end of 7 days, you can go and look at your book and you can be like, oh my God, 7 things have happened to me. And 7 things have been great. Right? And if you think about it, you're not only going to have 7, you're going to have 21 things of positivity because you've selected 3 positive things, right? So then you're going to have 3 positive things, and then you're going to have a question that answers it from your feeling. So I always tell people to do this, okay? Now, with that being said, it cannot be the same thing every day, okay, that is answered. Now, you can use the same positive experience every day, but I don't want that answer, that question, to be on that same experience every day, okay? You're going to do something different, all right? So, the first day was the sun came up. Why did this happen? Well, because naturally, God said the world goes around and we've got sun, right? There you have it. Or because I'm alive and I got to live to see another day. Whatever you want to do, right? Well, then the next day you can't use that same one. You have to use a different positive experience to answer if they mirror each other, okay? And do that for 7 days. Now, I will tell you, in general theory, everything takes 30 days, okay, to become a pattern. So if you did that for 30 days, that would even be better, okay? But 30 days is hard to commit to. So that is one big activity that you can actually do that's pen and paper, and it lets you actually process it, okay? With that being said, it is only positive. Anything you think is positive, okay? It could be, I didn't burn food today. Seriously, anything you think is positive. And then if you have somebody that you can talk to about it, you have a support group and you want to talk to them about it, do it, okay? Another one that I really, really like, if your depression is aimed at many people, for example, that are experiencing weight issues, have a lot of negative thought processes. They don't feel good enough. They feel unworthy. So if that's you and you fit in that category, I think you can do the same type of scenario with that as you can the writing down the positive things. And with that, it's a little bit different because it's not so structured. But I do tell people that are struggling with their self-worth, write down 3 positive things about yourself every day. Okay? Every day, 3 positive things about yourself. I am kind. I am loved. I am smart. I am energetic. I am anything. Any positive things. Okay? Now, what I've started doing with this self-affirmation box is what I call it, is you write down the positivity from you and your thoughts. And what I shoot for, guys, is, like I said, 3 a day. At the end of the week, you got 21, right? Well, I need you to do this for 2 weeks straight. That's 42, okay? And here's why. Again, I said it takes 30 days to create change, right? So if you can get 41 in there, so 2 weeks worth of positive things about yourself, right? I think I'm doing that right. 3, it's 20, yeah, 21. So if you can do it for 2 weeks, then what I do is I tell you, you put them in your box. You can use a cup for all that matters. Use anything. You put them together, and then every day after that, you get up and you have to pull something out and you read it, okay? And you set it aside. After you see it, you set it aside, right? And then you come back to it and say 5 minutes, and you read it again. And this time you repeat it 3 times. I am kind. I am kind. I am kind. So there you go. But you're making yourself, not only did you see it the first time and read it, you put it down, and then you're making yourself come back to it. Set a timer. Come back to it. And then you repeat it 3 to 5 times. Okay? What do you do at the end of that? You set it aside. You put it over here. And you don't put it back in your box because you don't want to repeat it. You want to see all of the new. So you have something for 42 days. Okay? I think I'm doing math. If I'm not doing math right, forgive me. But you have something to read positive that you've said about yourself for 42 days. That's an amazing 42 days that you can wake up first thing in the morning, you see it. So what I have somebody doing it right now that is a younger person. And before they get out of bed, actually, like they get out of bed, they get their card, they read it. I make it, put it down, go brush your teeth, wash your hair, do what you need to do, and then come back. And then you read it, and then you actually say it out loud. Now, she has a support system in home, so I've engaged mom and involved mom, and I have her read it to mom, And then mom reads her one every day. Okay. So it depends on your support system and what you have. But if you can do it for yourself, that would be amazing. Positive thoughts are always good. So there's that. Wow. So we're already at 20 minutes. Okay. So deep breathing. Also, use your positive exercises. Positive. Make yourself do something. Exercise. Socialize. Just whatever you're feeling is holding you down. Do something that supports that to change. Okay. It doesn't have to be starting and going big. You can start small and build up. Okay. It always helps if we have a friend or a support system. So if you have somebody that you feel safe talking to, that you know will be supportive in your journey, engage them. Ask them to be a part of. Ask them to be part of your therapy session, not session, but your therapy goal. Ask them to be just your friend, okay? That way you don't have to tell everybody your story. Not everybody needs to know. But you have somebody that you can talk to. And it gives you somebody that can also help encourage you. It's a support system. So if you have somebody, use them. Utilize that with all that it is. So that's just a little bit of coping skills that you can use. And again, there's many more, but we have the greatest tool out there. We have Google. Google tells us everything, right? So you can Google, just seriously, coping skills for depression. You'll find some of the same resources that I've kind of went over, probably, because I got them from somewhere. And they'll be the best tools that you can use. So definitely look into that if you're sitting there wondering what the heck. It gives you all kinds of coping skills. Okay? If there's any questions about what I said or anything like that, let me know. Because definitely can go over that. And with you, I can give you some resources myself. Again, I can help you reach that goal of finding somebody to help you. So just reach out if you need to. But other than that, I'm going to sign off for now. I do want to say thank you. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll be back with another video. Thanks, guys.